Alright, guys and girls. I said guys and girls. Bang, bang. Shoot 'em up. Alright, welcome to another episode of Astro Auto Repairs. Can you dig it? Alright, check it out. Right here behind me, I got a 1995 Ford Econoline E-150 van. And what I'm going to do is show you how to replace the front wheel bearings. We're only going to do one side, and I'm going to tell you why we're only doing one side coming up. So we're going to be doing that today, right here on Astro Auto Repairs. This channel is a member of the Astro Stars, which means we have a zero-tolerance policy against the harassment of others. Anybody who violates that policy will be banned. For further information, please visit www.theastrostars.com. Alright guys, girls, as I say in the beginning of all our videos when we're picking something up, safety is your number one. Alright, so first of all, we got our hydraulic jack set right there. Can y'all see that? Yeah, it's kind of dark, but... And then right here, we got our jack stand. And being that we're on the ground, or dirt, or whatever, something, not the ground, we're on grass, or dirt, or something, I always tell you guys to make sure your jack stand has a base, because if not, it's going to sink right into the ground. Alright? So we got that done. Let's get ready to take our tire off. We'll be right back. Alright guys, the first thing we're going to do is take off our tire. Now, if you can get a thin enough wall socket, you can get these off. These are 13/16 or 21 millimeter. But being that I'm using an impact, I'm going to have to take this center cap off. And the center cap is held on by three, bless you, Sivi.
Oh, thank you.
3 flat head screws. So get you a nice flat screwdriver and go ahead and take all 3 of those out. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, now that we got this off, set this to the side, and bam, there's our problem. This is supposed to have a dust cap right here, and the dust cap been missing ever since we bought the van. It's been missing for years. And what happens is dirt and grime gets inside there, and that dirt acts as sandpaper against those bearings and wear them out. And now I got play in it, so we got to get that thing changed, and we got a new dust cover to go into that. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is grab me a deep 21 millimeter half-inch drive socket, or you can use 13/16, and we're going to go ahead, take the lugs off, and get this tire off. All right, let's get that done, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, I got the wheel turned all the way to the left. The next thing we need to do is remove your caliper right here. And your caliper held on by 2 13 millimeter bolts. All right, so what I got me is the 13 millimeter shallow 3/8 drive with my big bill ratchet. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, break them loose first, and then go ahead and take both of them out. All right, let's get those out, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got both bolts out. Both bolts are the same length, so you don't have to worry about getting them crossed or anything. Let's put that on the side. And next thing we're gonna do is grab your flat screwdriver. And you know what, guys, let me turn this wheel straight so you can get a better view of what I'm doing, what I'm gonna do here. And I'll be right back. All right, guys, now you want to take your screwdriver. Now your brake pads are going to stay down here because of the way they're made to go around the caliper bracket. So what you want to do is take your screwdriver, stick it between the top of that brake pad and the caliper, and you just want to go ahead and pry that right up. Bring it to the side like this. Then what you want to do is take you some mechanics wire. Dang, I thought I had the mechanics wire out here. Son of a biscuit. Dang it. Oh, all right. While I'm going to get the mechanics wire, guys, you're going to have sliders right here. You want to make sure those sliders are working just like that, because if not, it's going to hang that caliper up, and your brake pads are going to wear faster on the inside, and then it's going to heat up your rotor and cause the rotor to warp. All right, so let's get our mechanics wire, and what we're going to do is take our mechanics wire, we're going to hook it up here to one of the coil springs.
What the heck happened? One moment, please. Okay, we're good.
Okay, we're going to hook it up to one of the coil springs, hook it up to the caliper, right about this little hole right here, and just hang that up. The reason being, you do not want this caliper to hang down, especially on this hose, because you will damage the inside of that hose. All right, so let's get that done, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, let's get this done. The next thing we do, you're gonna get your outboard brake pad right here. You're gonna take that and slide that outward. Just like that, set that down to the side. I'm not really worried about the in one right now because it's in there. Don't worry about it. Now, the next thing you wanna do, guys, is get you a pair of wire cutters. You're gonna have a cotter pin right here. Take the cotter pin, bend it, get that cotter pin out, put that to the side. Then you're gonna have a Castle retaining washer here. Take that off. Now what that means, a retaining washer. You got a nut right there and this nut is not really tight on there. But what happens here, let me get that off and show you better. Let me put that down. You can take a regular pair of pliers. You don't need a socket or nothing. See that? Because those things are not really that tight. And actually, it's supposed to have spun off a lot easier than this. So that lets me know there's a lot of grime up in there. We're going to definitely have to clean all that up. All right. Now, you see how that nut turns? On the top of the spindle, you're going to see a hole right down there where the cotter pin went at. So what happens is, you put the nut on it, tighten it up by hand, put this retaining washer. It keeps that nut from spinning. And then one of those grooves right there will line up with the hole and it'll keep that from turning. So if not, that thing will come off, your wheel will come off, and then you're going to cause an accident. All right, so let's put this to the side and we'll be right back. All right, guys, the next thing is going to be our outer bearing, and then there's a washer right here. And you can try to pick it in, try to pick it out, or get a screwdriver or something. But here's a little trick. You take your hand right there and you hit the rotor right in this section right here. Make a fist, hit it right here. You hit it good enough, that's going to pop out. The only problem I'm worried about is there's so much grime and stuff right here, it might not do what I want. Let's see. Great, cool. Check that out, guys. I know you're like, wow, Tim is the man. All right, so we got that out. And remember this washer right here, and this washer got a little indentation inside of it. And that's to keep it from spinning around. And there's our outer bearing. Man, that thing looks worn. Let's set that to the side. Now for a little trick, guys. Grab the nut that came off of there. Because now you got an inside bearing. If you go ahead, you can take the rotor off. Everything's good. But your inside bearing now is inside it. Then you got to get a screwdriver and pry it out or do something. Here's another little trick. Put that back on. Put the nut on. Good amount of threads. Good amount of turns. Man, this thing is really grimy. Okay, and what you want to do is grab the rotor from the outside. Don't try to pick it up. Just let the rotor drop down like it is, and you're just going to pull it forward. Bam, look at that. Bearings and everything is right out of there. That looks nasty. There's our inside bearing, and there's our seal. All right, so let's put that to the side because we need to clean all this up. Then we're going to get a rag and all and clean this up as well. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, for the cleanup, make this simple for yourself. So either you get a bunch of cheesy, cheap rags so you can throw them out, because you definitely don't want to put these rags back in the wash machine. Or get you a plastic bag, get you some paper towels, and then you go around and you can go ahead and clean that up. And that way, you just throw the paper towels away. And what we're going to do here is clean up the spindle, clean up the threads around it, and what we're going to do also is go inside here and clean up some of this grease that's inside the rotor. We're going to put brand new grease inside here. And guys, you definitely want to pay attention to this video, because there's some very, very important information about grease you use on these wheel bearings. All right. And once I get it cleaned up like that, what I'm also going to do is, got some brake parts cleaner here. Go ahead and clean up even more. All right, so let's clean up those two parts, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got the grease and clean out. You don't got to clean all the grease out, but just get most of it out. Next, we need to take you a screwdriver. Now, being that our dust shield hasn't been in here for years. Now I'm gonna take a little screwdriver and I'm gonna just clean up around the edges right here so it sets in there nice. And look at that, man. That's all that years that stuff just build up and mess those bearings up. All right, now being that those bearings have been going like this for years, more than likely, and this is, you're not going to see this in a lot of videos, we're going to replace the racer. And that's what the bearing sets in right here, this little ridge right here, and then there's one on the inside. So let's get us, you can probably use a good screwdriver, because what you got to do here is set it down. Let me see if let me get a light or something so you can see down.
That racer right there?
Right down here.
Oh, the bottom one. No, that one we can't. But we can see the top one.
Yeah, but I need to see the bottom because how they take it out.
Okay.
All right, let's get something and I'll be right back. All right, guys, before we proceed, I'm going to show you what the racer is. Here's our new bearing. And your bearings are going to come with a new racer. That's what the bearing sets into and rides around. Now we know those are messed up from all that grime and stuff. So we definitely need to replace them or this bearing is going to wear out really fast. So let's put this back. Yeah, put it back in there. Okay. Dang, things ain't right through it. Put it in the box. Alright, so let's take a look at what we got here. If you look down in here, right here is the end of that bearing, the racer. Can't really see it because I got the...
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Right there. Now that one inside comes out through the other way, and this one comes out through this way. So we got to do each of them opposite. So what you do here, there's two ways of doing this. One, if you get you a chisel, this is a nice size chisel that will go down there and it'll rest right up against it. And then I take a hammer and knock it out. Or if you don't have a chisel, grab yourself. This is a great set from Harbor Freight, the screwdriver set. I definitely like this because instead of being a lot of screwdrivers, especially for this price, the rod will go right up to here, and then it'll be a spline right here, and it'll stop. And then you just got the plastic, and then you can eventually twist it and just strip right out. This one is solid all the way through right here, so you can use actually a ratchet or something, which I doubt you're doing it, but I like to use it as a punch. And this, I should try this just to test out how good this set is. I mean, I'm supposed to be using this, but I would definitely, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna hook it right there. I'm gonna put it right there to the side of that bearing. And what I'm gonna do is take my carpenter's hammer, and it don't take much to knock these out. Nope, it didn't. Nope. I said it don't take much to knock them out, but here I am. Okay. First of all, let's take a look at our screwdriver. Let's put this. Yeah, you can tell I bent that mess. Yeah, I bent it a little bit, so we're not gonna be using that the other way. Like, but I'm using a tool that wasn't meant to be used for that. So, but it did knock our racer right out of there. So now what I gotta do, put that to the side, turn it around. Then I'm gonna take our punch and I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna find the ridge to the other one. This time I'm going to use the punch and knock that one out. This one's a little bit difficult to get because it's so little down there. Dang it, man. It's almost out. I'm going to have to put it at a little angle because I am getting close to the edge. And there we go. Our outer and inner. Now the inner one is bigger than the outer one, so you can't get them confused. Alright, so let's turn this over and get ready to install our new one. Be right back. Alright guys, what I got here is my ball joint adapter set. It's filled with all kind of adapters. I love using this set when I'm doing jobs like this. And what I want to do is I'm going to grab the old racer. And I'm going to grab something. Definitely, you don't want nothing to fit inside because you can damage the racer. So you want something to fit outside. This one, that's almost perfect. And that's pretty good right there. This one. That's on the outside. It might do pretty good. You know what? I'm definitely going to try this one so I got something to hit up against. So what I'm going to do here is take my new racer. You want to set it down like that. You see there's a flat side right there. You want to put that down first. I'm going to set that down like that. And it's going to set. You can push it in just enough. That's good. I'm not going to use the tool to go in there. What I'm going to do is use my old bearing racer. Don't be correcting me, Sophia. Especially being quiet about it. No. I gotta put this like this so I can be able to hit that in there. And as you can see, the racer is going down and I'm not damaging anything. So I'm gonna make sure I get that on there. Yep, there is a point where it says it's gonna stop. Okay, I think I just about reached it. And actually, guys, you can hear it while you're hitting the bearing down. You can actually hear it because the pitch will change. It'll get more like a dull noise. This is using the other racer is perfect because you know the other racer will go right down in there. There it is. I heard the pitch. Make sure it's down, and there you go. That racer is in. That is perfect and nice and smooth. All right, next we're gonna do. Let's put this bearing in the bag, in the box. Put it to the side. Flip it over, and then we're gonna use the same method to install our outer one. All right, so let's get the outer one installed and we'll be right back. All right guys, this part right here is the most important part of the video. So if you're at this point with me, that's great. If any of you ever said, okay, I'm done, and you put it back together with some messed up grease, then their bearing is gonna go, then they're gonna contact me. This part is very important. You gotta get grease specifically designed, high temperature, and for wheel bearing grease. And not just wheel bearing grease, disc brake wheel bearing grease. You're like, Tim, there's no such thing. All right, we have different greases right here. Check this out, guys. We have the STP multi-purpose, and I'm gonna turn to the side. I'm gonna let. Okay, like this one has a.
But don't turn it though. I had it.
Oh, you got the whole side?
Yeah.
This one I can't see this side though. That's why I'm turning it.
Oh.
This one has a dropping point, which here you do it. You tell them. So you can.
Guy, I tell you, where am I? Okay, a dropping point of 320 degrees.
Now, what that means, guys, is that
Dropping point exceeds, actually, it says. Dropping point exceeds 320 degrees.
Well, which means that, well, forget the exceed, guy, because all everybody say that. So at 320 degrees, this grease is going to start melting. It's going to start breaking down. That's what that means. All right, go ahead.
Well, what those did you want me to just
the things that it does.
It says recommend. Well, then I gotta start at the top.
Oh, okay, that's before that. That was before the dropping point?
There's a.
If that's before the dropping point, then yeah.
You keep on. Hold on. I can't get to focus. All right. Excellent resistance to water washing. Makes this an excellent product. It's hard to read through the camera. Ideally suited for use in multi-purpose grease and normal. Wait a minute. Multi-purpose grease under normal temperature, speed conditions that do not require extreme pressure additives. What does that mean?
Oh, keep going.
Recommended for many automotive and agricultural applications such as chassis, water pump, and wheel bearings, except disc brake wheel bearings.
Now, see, guys, you got to look at that. Even though it says multi-person, you got to read the fine print. So that does not, you cannot use that on disc brake wheel bearings. So that's good. So we know we can't use that. Let's move on to the next one. Now I went to AutoZone. I got a little cheap bearing packer, and I bought a pack of grease there, and it came with 2 of these and 1 of these. One of these is extra heavy duty grease, heavy duty trucks, farm equipment, construction equipment, heavy duty. And inside here it says especially formulated heavy duty equipment. It is perfect excelling in high temperature applications. The problem with this is Lucas is a good brand. The problem with this, it does not give a drop point. That's the weird part. I mean, you're telling me it's good for high temp, but what's high temp? High speed bearings? No, and then it's put it in, I believe that's Spanish, but there's no drop point up there. So, I mean, yeah, it sounds good and all, but I wasn't sure. Then I went and got the STP premium grease high temp, and I started reading around in this one, and I needed some anyway. That's why I got this one. Now this one says dropping point exceeds 500 degrees. So I said, okay, I know that's good. I'm definitely going to be using some of this, so I need that. So I can put this down now. So now this one right here is the Lucas red and tacky grease, fortified with anti-seize. Very interesting. And the first thing they point out here for maximum surface protection, look at the drop point on that, guys. 540 degrees. That's cool. That's what I'm going to use as to pack these bearings. Now I'm going to use this to pack these bearings, but as far as lubricating the spindle and more grease inside the rotor, which I'm about to show you, we're going to be just packing it with this high temp grease. All right, so let's get right to it and put some gloves on. I'm gonna need this one over here, and let me go put these two up, and you're gonna get your little gun right here. You can get, this is like $14 at AutoZone. I got that, and of course I got this. I like this. It's all right, but I was hoping that AutoZone had the one that comes in like a cup. You put the bearing in, and you push down, and it squeeze the bearing, the grease through the bearing from the bottom. I like that better than this one, but this one does work. All right, so let's get this all put away, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, I put my new cartridge inside of here, and what I have to do here is there is some of the old grease in the line, so I gotta like bleed it. And the new grease is red, so I gotta keep going until I see red grease come out of there. There we go. Okay, now to do this, what I'm going to do here is take the top off. Take my bearing, set my bearing down like that. Set this on. Okay, and the bearing's going to set right inside of there. See, this is why I don't like this one too much. Alright, and what we're going to do here is hook this onto here, and we're going to push grease into it. And let's see if we can see it inside there. See, till grease squeeze out between the rollers. Damn, man, how much grease is it taking? There it is. You can see the grease starting to come between there. You see that in there?
No. On the bottom? Oh, yeah, I see it now.
There it is. So, guys, there it is. Perfect.
I don't understand. How does the grease get in there?
Okay, let me unscrew this. And what I'm going to do here is on our racer right here, I'm going to show you in 1 minute. On our racer, let's just go ahead and put some grease around here. Guys, on this job, do not be cheap with the grease. Alright, put that in there. Let's take our bearing out. And at the same time, I can answer Sylvia's question. That took a lot. See, that's unnecessary grease right there. That's why I don't really like this thing too much. But we're gonna set that, the grease push through. So no, this is very messy.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Why don't you just take the grease and just pat it in there?
What do you mean?
With your hand.
In between the bearings?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing is that thing squeezes the grease between the bearings. Okay. Now there is an old style way of doing it, which I'll show you in a minute. But what happens is grease, you push the grease through here. This rod has a hole in it somewhere that pushes the grease out. And then because
hole?
Yeah, I guess that's why it took so long.
You figured it should have holes all the way around.
It should. Let me tell you what. Let me I think there's one or two, but let's see if I put this on and squeeze it. See the two holes at the bottom. So that's what it does. Let's get this off. See what I'm doing it for you, and then I get dirt. Anything for Sevi. Alright guys, let's set this to the side. And we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is, this is your inner wheel seal. Now I should have got a new one, but this one is in good condition. And what this does is, you got all that grease inside there. To stop that grease from coming out here and onto the rotor, is that seal right there. So what you do is just set the seal down. Very easy to install. Just set it right there. Get you a nice little hammer.
I would stuck it back down the rotor.
Yeah. This wheel would not stop. Just won't stop. And that right there is perfect. Now what you want to do is clean your hands up. Oh, man, I just grabbed a what made me reach in there and grab a paper towel?
Again so we can see.
No. You made you see nothing. What the heck?
Why would you grab a paper towel from the dirty bag?
You know, I'm going to hire Billy Bob back, because I'm not going to be going through this mess.
You can. You want me to call him?
Alright guys, let me get some new gloves on, and what we're going to do is just some brake cleaner.
You know what, the funny thing is that you think that's a threat to me.
Is she going to?
I'm just saying.
I should have never started her.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Alright, what we're going to do is clean this rotor up on the inside, get all this grease out of there.
It up.
Yeah, and then over here, I'm going to take out the brake pad, wire brush this, and put a little brake lubricant on these shims right here. Alright, let's get that done, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got that cleaned up. Now what we're going to go up here, we're going to pop out our inside brake pad, take a wire brush, and we got these clips right here. Make sure they're nice and clean. Then we're going to do the 007. Yeah, I know what that means. Take us a Q-tip with some brake lubricant. What the heck, didn't I open that thing up? Oh, there we go. And we're going to apply it onto the shim on the 4 corners. Alright, so let's get that.
Is that a shim or a clip? Because people seem to call it different things.
Yeah, it don't matter. They can call it whatever they want.
The metal piece.
Yeah, the metal piece inside where the brakes are.
Hardware.
There you go, brake hardware. Alright, so let's get that lubed up and we'll be right back. Alright guys, next we're going to do, get our inboard pad. And we're going to set that back down in there. Great. Then we're going to take our rotor. We're not going to grease this up yet because if you put grease on it now and try to put this rotor on, the only thing it's going to do is push that grease back. So get your rotor. Push your rotor on till it can't go no more. And then at this point what you'll do is take your grease gun, stick it inside there, and you just want to squeeze a whole bunch of grease in there. Or what you can do is just take your hand and use the tub and do that. So let's go ahead and get this done. Get a lot of grease inside there. And we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got that enough grease in there. Now we got to grease up our outer bearing. Guys, again, if you have a choice, get the bucket one. It's a lot better than use this one. Actually, after I finish this job right here, I'm going to order one and I'm going to actually throw this one away. That's how much I don't like it. First thing I'll do is do a tool review on it on Tool Time with Timmy. And then I'm throwing it away. The thing sucks. So let's get this greased up and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got it greased up. And this is another thing. Look at it. You know, it pushes all the grease out in the middle. Of course it has to. But then there's all this excess grease, man. It's just a really messy. I mean, the tool is cheap. So, you know, you get what you pay for. But that's just sucks. What I'm going to do is set that right there. Let's open up this little thing. And let's get a little grease in there on that racer. There's a lot of grease in it. That's what I want too. Alright, then let's take our bearing. Want to have Sylvie do the rest of it?
Heck, I'm not touching that nasty stuff.
Put our bearing in there. Okay, then where the heck is the washer? Oh, here it is. Gotta clean this up. Here's our washer. We gotta clean this thing up, and then we're gonna set them nice and clean too. Look at that. Get all that old stuff off of there. All right. Now you can see better that little indentation I was telling you about, and that's on the top of our shaft right here. It goes right up there. Push that back. Let's go wipe that off. There we go, right there. Look at that, guys. That looks great. The next thing you want to do is get the nut. You know, guys, let me get it cleaned up here and get this stuff away from here. Man, it's a messy job. I'll be right back. All right, guys, we got everything cleaned up out of the way. Let's get the nut. Put that on. Now, guys, tightening up this nut. Again, you don't have to use no ratchet or anything. Just get you a nice pair of pliers and go ahead. You want to bring that in till it stops. That's it. Spin it. Everything's good. Tighten a little bit more. Take your castle retainer, and again, you got a hole right on the top of the spindle, so you got to make sure when you put this thing on one of those will line up, and you can see that don't. Then you just take it off, turn it, and look at that. That lines up perfectly. I guess I can turn it a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do is just tighten this up just a tad bit more, and it's perfect. Get you a new cotter pin. Stick the cotter pin in. Bend it up. Now you can either take a hammer or something and bend the bottom one in, but what I like to do to make sure it don't hit up against that dust cover is just take it, cut a piece of it off, and then push that piece up a little bit. Great. And that is done, guys. Then you take your brand new cover right here, dust cover. Now I know it's a lot of guys, they'll take this and what they'll do is take the hammer and hit it on, and then you end up damaging this. You end up hitting the inside, and then it'll be scraping up against that when the rotor turns. So what you want to do is, if you do that, you want to use a rubber one, or use the wooden end. Oops.
And do that.
And do that. And if you have a problem like that, get your screwdriver, dang it, and hit it towards the edges right here. Oops, damn, that thing came right out of there. This is dormant, isn't it? It's bull. Here we go. Now hopefully get this thing going all around. See, that's what I get for buying
Kuvak.
What? What the heck was that?
I watch too much Big Bang.
Yeah, you do.
Where's your rubber mallet?
Forget them. I ain't got time to go get it.
Alright, keep doing this then.
I am gonna keep doing this. Keep doing this. You know how hard-headed we are.
Yep.
That's right. Keep on doing it till it goes in there. Why this thing feels like it's
not going.
What the heck, man?
Did you get the right cap?
You ordered it.
What? I know you were not blaming me.
I'm just saying you ordered it.
Am I supposed to use the hammer you said?
Forget that. Forget what I said. This is bogus, man. This is the most dormant, man.
How you know it's dormant?
Huh? I opened the pack. Where's the pack at?
Oh.
Wait a minute. Let me, before I put dormant down.
What is it?
Yeah, this is a raggedy dormant.
Dormant.
Help. Ah. This is some bogus, man.
Maybe that's the wrong cap.
Well, then,
I know you're not gonna blame me.
you got me the wrong captain.
Uh-huh.
But this thing keep coming out on the other side. This thing feels dormant. Sucks, man. This, you
It
know,
looks like you.
no, because it looks like it's made like coming out like that. So how the heck is that supposed to fit in there and stay? Should have just spent the extra money. See, guys, that's what happens when you go cheap.
That was the only one I found, to be honest with you.
What?
I gotta look it up again. Looks like it's getting there.
Alright guys, we're going to put this in. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we got it in there. Guys, this thing sucked. This thing actually popped back out. And me and Sylvia looked at it. And at the edges, it's actually made like that. So I'm like, what the heck?
Like what?
It's made actually like that.
Okay.
So what we had to do was actually, and you can see the little indentation right here. I took a block of wood, put it right there, and hit it, and it's pretty much flush. But guys, if you can get a brand other than Dorman, get it. Trust me, get it. All right, let's take our gloves off, because what we need to do
I don't
now.
have gloves.
Yeah, leave it to Civi.
You said hour.
Talking to them because they doing the job right now.
Right.
All right, get us some. Guys, and definitely, always, guys, wear gloves for your health. That stuff will kill you. All right, so let's take our outboard brake pad, and it sets right down. Now, this is like a spring action right here, so it actually pushes in like that, and then let's get our bottom one in. Dang it, maybe we should get the bottom one first. All right, then the top one. Okay, push both of them into the rotor. And then we're gonna take our caliper, unhook it, bring our caliper down. Make sure when you bring it down, the hose is not kinked up anywhere. Push our sliding pins back and slowly gonna lower it down. And it's got the alignment right here. You see this little clip right here? Those clips, that got to line up right with those holes on either side. So push it down. Okay, great. Take out two 13mm bolts. One on the top, one on the bottom. And you might have to move the caliper around a little bit to get that started by hand. And you definitely want to start it by make sure you turn about three to five turns inside. Make sure it doesn't cross thread. And once you got that, we're gonna get ready to tighten it up. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we got our 13mm with our big bill ratchet. I'm gonna go ahead in here and we're gonna tighten these bolts up. Great, guys, that is perfect. Last but not least, what we're gonna do before I put our tire on, we're gonna take some brake cleaner and we're gonna go ahead and clean now the outside of the rotor. What kind of grease we got up there? Didn't I put the paper towels in here?
Right here.
Get that off. All right, and then just where the tire sets down at, go ahead and clean that off also. And I'm gonna tell you why this is important when we go to put our tire on. All right, so let's get our tire and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got our tire on. Guys, this is very important right here. You got your lugs. Start your lugs on. And I gotta go to the auto parts store and get one because I'm missing one here. That sucks. But what you want to do is when you tighten these up, you want to tighten it up in a star pattern. You like you're drawing a star. You guys know what I'm talking about. You start from here, just like that. You cross over one. Reason why we do that is because say if there's some rust or dirt built up right here on that rotor or in the back of the rim, if you tighten it up like 1, 2, 3, you're tightening up that rim and it's going to be going on crooked because of that rust buildup right there. So by tightening it up in a sequence like that, you bringing that rim all together at once and squeeze all that rust and stuff out of there. So we got our thing on, and let's start this off. The first thing you want to do is just bring in one just to get the wheel centered. Just like that. Then you want to go across and tighten it up and start going in a cross pattern. So you're going to do one, skip one, go to the next one, skip one, and go to the next one. Skip this one, skip this one, which we got no choice anyway, and go to this one, skip, go to this one, and then the last one. Then you take your screwdriver, your 3 screws, and your center cap, and you put that on. All right, let's get that on. And guys, you have done a great job. other side is identical to this side. So, just in case you have to do that. Alright, we'll be right back.
Alright, so today we had a 1994...
It's a 95. My van's a 95.
So today we had a 95 Ford E-150 and we showed you how to replace the front wheel bearings. If you guys have any comments or questions, you can post it below in the comment section, or you can email Timmy at tim@astralautorepairs.com. Hope you paid attention. If not, watch it again. This is Sylvia from Astral Auto Repairs. If we can't repair it, nobody can. See you next time.